All right, and welcome in everybody. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the SHOUTOUT coming at you with my Week 12 predictions. Currently, right now, it is Thursday night. It is halftime for the Bills and Texans. A little bit of a spoiler, but I am picking the Bills to win this game. Just want to make that clear for the record because this is going to come out after this game is over. So, wanted to make that clear up front. But also, before we start talking about Week 12, I've been kind of in a funk in terms of playing video games. Video games for me have not been as fun as they are normally. And right now, like all I'm really playing is Rocket League and SHOUTOUT, which if you guys have never played SHOUTOUT, it's like a 1v1 first-person shooter. Oh my god, it's so much fun. Me and my buddy play it, and it is an absolute blast. But other than that, I'm really not playing any other game on the regular. I was playing Minecraft. I have an SMP with a couple of my friends, but if you guys know, if you guys play Minecraft, particularly Bedrock Edition, they bricked it. An update by Microsoft absolutely screwed the game over. The game is not running well. There's a really bad memory leak and a whole bunch of other stuff that people have not liked at all, including myself. And so I haven't updated the game, so I have not played. Until they fix it, I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to willingly play while my computer literally can't run it because of the memory leak. So there is that. So I've been in a funk. I've thought about getting back into Terraria. If you guys haven't played Terraria, it's really fun, but I'm not sure if I want to start a new run or if I want to pick up where I left off. I have some runs that I'm thinking about. I have a couple on my computer that are somewhat decently into the game. Not like I haven't made it past hard mode in those, but on my Xbox, I do have a run where I'm all the way at the Lunatic Cultist, which is two bosses before the final boss and the Moon Lord in the game. So I'm debating that. And also, if I start a new run, am I going to start a regular run or am I going to start a run on the Calamity mod, which I've played a little bit, which was also really fun. So I'm thinking about that, mostly just because in the absence of me not being able to play Minecraft at the moment. I kind of want to play is it similar? Is Minecraft and Terraria similar? Like, is it really? Like, I don't really know at this point. I mean, either it is or it isn't. I don't really know. But, like, in similar concept of a game where you're going through an adventure, you're surviving, and just slowly grinding your way up to the top to be super powerful. But, that being said, let's talk about Week 12. Wait, actually, hang on. I want to talk more about this a little bit. If you guys want to hear me talk about Week 12, you guys can jump ahead. It's in the timestamp, so I apologize. But I want to talk about it just for a little bit longer. Just because, one more thing, too, is, like, I want you guys to tell me. I want you guys to help me with this, actually. Help me find more games to play. I want you guys to put in the comments down below right now what games you guys enjoy playing, what are your favorite games, and also the games that are best to play with friends, and also single player if you want to split those up for me. That'd be great. So I would be looking forward to your input. So now let's talk about Week 12. Now let's talk about the business. Let's talk about the good stuff. So Week 12 for me, I kind of teased it in the description of my Week 11 recap, which you should go check out. I thought it was a pretty well-made video. But Week 12, this is where we're going to truly begin to see the puzzle pieces fall into place. Meaning, this is where the good teams will begin to separate themselves a little bit more from the bad teams, and the bad teams will begin to separate themselves a little bit as well. And as we get closer and closer, obviously, the pieces will fall more and more into place. But Week 12 for me is usually where I see that trend begin to end, I guess. Like, because when the season starts, everyone's bad. And then by year's end, we kind of have a full disparity of everything. So I guess, yeah, this is where, like, the end game, we're starting to reach the end game, if you will, with Week 12. And along with that, there's a lot of great games here. There's not a whole bunch of great high stakes games per se. There's a few in here, but it's a lot of solid games that are going to be competitive, that should be relatively close. It's more like a high floor, low ceiling type of week of football, if that makes any sense. And every game just about has interesting storylines to follow. So I think this is going to be a good week. I think there's going to be enough here to where it's going to be interesting. It's going to be competitive, like I said, and just an overall good week. So continuing on with our predictions, last week I went 11-4 picking games. So woo, that's great. Fantastic stuff right there. And also, that brings me now to 98-64. Almost at 100. We're like right there. Like honestly, we're going to hit it this week. I mean, unless for some reason I just don't get, I only get one game right, which if that happens, I'm quitting the show straight up. Just kidding. No, I'm not. But we're going to hit it this week, which will be good. But I really wanted to hit it and get to exactly 100. But that's not going to happen. But it's fine. 98 and 64 is really good. We're starting to get further and further in the positive range, which is what I really like to see. And so hoping that continues here. Now, teams on bye. We got 4 teams on bye week. So fans of the Broncos, Chargers, Dolphins, and Commanders. If you're the fan of the Broncos and the Dolphins, you're feeling okay. If you're the Broncos, you're feeling fantastic. But if you're the Chargers, getting blown out by Jacksonville absolutely sucks. They just got to get healthy and things might solve themselves out, figure themselves out, if you will. And then for the Commanders, at this point, I mean, your season's lost. It just sucks. It's sad. I mean, Jaden Daniels is out. He's done. And it's just, at this point, I mean, look back to next year and hope things get better. I think, I don't know, this is a big problem with the Commanders is like they really haven't had a big infusion of youth yet. And give it, this year's draft, give it maybe 1 or 2 more drafts, and over time as they develop and get better and as the veterans get off the team, I think that'll work out. I think the big part of it is just there's a lot of veterans on the Commanders, and they just need a good infusion of youth over these next couple of years, and I think they'll be okay. But that's looking way further into the future, and that's not what we're talking about today. So those are the 4 teams that are on bye week. Now let's talk about the top 5 games of the week. There is a slight disclaimer, though. This list admittedly has a lot more personal feelings into it than more than just what I think are genuinely the best games of the week. There's definitely a lot of interesting storylines with these games for sure. And so I was a little bit more leaning with that more than the actual top 5 best games. So if things look a little out of whack, that is why I just wanted to make that clear. So now let's jump into our top 5 games of the week. And as we say, time to let it preview. Starting with number 5, we have the Browns versus the Raiders. What? Why is this game the worst game of the week, arguably, in the top 5? Well, here I'll tell you why. Number 1, for personal reasons. For hoping the Titans get the first overall pick, tanking reasons, that is. But games like these, where 2 teams are 2-8, they're awful, fighting for a top pick in the draft. Games like these, honestly, have bigger implications than, like, a game like the Bucs and the Rams, which we'll talk about later, a little bit of a spoiler, where, like, 2 good teams that go up against each other, at this point, it's like, yeah, like, they're probably going to face off in the playoffs. They're both going to the playoffs. I mean, we both know where they're going to end up somewhat. Like, they're going to end up closer together than maybe the Browns and the Raiders, where one win in this game could make all the difference. If you remember last year, the Raiders had the first overall pick, and then they beat the Jaguars, and it dropped them all the way down to 6th. So, I mean, you're talking about a 5+ point jump potentially in the draft order in the top 10. And so a game like this has probably bigger implications for each team's future than a game like the Bucs and the Rams, for example. So that's why it's there. And also just because, honestly, a lot of the top teams in the NFL have been on the top 5 games of the week so much. Something like this, you know what, Browns and Raiders fans, I'm going to let you have your flowers for once. You deserve it. You deserve to get some recognition. I know things have been awful, so let's talk about the Browns and the Raiders, because I think it's going to be an interesting game for the reasons like I mentioned. So for the Browns to get a win on the road, what are their 3 keys to victory? Number 1 is to simplify the game. Shedeur Sanders is making his first career start. I said that last week. That was my mistake. I'm sorry, but he is making his first career start in this game, and so key 1 is to simplify the game. What do I mean by that? Run the ball effectively, get some easy, simple throws for Shedeur, make things easier, don't put a whole lot on his plate. He's not going to have a whole lot on his plate. The Browns defense is going up against a horrible Raiders offense. So even if things don't look good, if things are just below average, I think that's going to be enough to win for me. So just run the ball at least somewhat effectively. Make some simple throws for Shedeur to somewhat stay on schedule. That's all I'm looking for. I don't need to see, as long as you don't throw a bunch of turnovers and the offense is just lifeless, I think the Browns will win this game just by that off alone. But key 2, you got to stop the run. One thing the Raiders have been awful at, other than throwing the ball, is running the ball. And a lot of it is just because they don't run the ball very often. They get down so much. It seems like they don't have faith in their offensive line. Do they not have faith in Austin Gentry? I don't know. But in order to fix the issues, or begin to somewhat fix the issues that the Raiders have had on offense, you got to run the ball well. If you can run the ball well, that creates better opportunities for Geno Smith. And along with that, you got to win key 3, which goes hand in hand, which is winning time of possession. Because if you win time of possession, what does that do? That limits the offense of Shedeur Sanders. Or wait, no, excuse me. Yeah, winning time of possession. Because you stay on the field longer, keep the Raiders offense off the field, and let an offense that's been so bad all year not really have a chance to get kick-started. If you can just play a good defense, handle your business on that side of the ball, and just have below average offense and just have a couple flashes here and there, I think you win this game. I think that's all you really need to win. It's not a very high bar to reach. And then for the Raiders, key 1 for them, like I just mentioned, was stopping the one for the Browns. They need to run the ball. One thing with running the ball, it's going to help with key 2 and key 3. Because running the ball, like I said, will help the passing game grow and develop. And if you can run the ball well, especially on first down, what can that help you with? That can help you with key 2, winning on third down. And if you're winning on third down, what are you doing? You're sustaining drives. You're winning a time of possession battle. Your offense is staying on the field and getting into a rhythm, in theory. And one thing that running the ball will help is open the passing game, which is key 3, no turnovers. It's been part of the big reason why Geno Smith has committed a lot of turnovers. It's because teams know that they are throwing the ball. And when the other team's throwing the ball, it's a lot easier to stop the pass and in turn create more turnovers. Also, when you're throwing the ball more, turnovers are going to increase. That's just a natural fact. So if you can run the ball effectively, that'll help you manage third downs better and hopefully help Geno Smith minimize his turnovers, which have plagued him all year. So far right now, who do I have winning? Honestly, give me the Raiders. Give me the Raiders to win. I kind of want the Raiders to win, if I'm being honest with you. I think they need something. They just need some type of win. They need some type of juice. They need some type of life. The Browns do too. I don't want to discredit them here. But I think the Raiders are going to win this game. I think their veteranness on their team compared to the youth on the Browns, especially on offense, I think will give them the edge in this game. So I'm going to be looking for that when I can. But I think the Raiders win, and that is why. Now, we move to number 4, Eagles Cowboys, the rematch. And this is going to be interesting just because the Cowboys and Eagles match up very well. But also, I will say this, a sweep is very unlikely. It is very unlikely, and I'll elaborate more at the end. But if the Eagles are going to get a win on the road and sweep the Cowboys, what are they going to need to do? Key 1, the offense better be better. This offense straight up better have a good performance. This is the awful defense in Dallas, and there is simply zero excuse for the Eagles to have struggles. They better not struggle. I'm not saying they need to drop like 30 or 40 points, but if you can just drop like 24 or 27 points and just move the ball consistently, just throw the ball decently well, run the ball decently well, and have more positive plays than negative plays, and be just somewhat fun to watch. Just be more watchable than what you have. That's all I'm asking for. If the offense can just step up and be better against an awful Cowboys defense, then they should have no reason to lose this game. So key 1 is big for them, and they better be better. And if they're not, we're going to have a serious conversation if the Eagles are actually going to be a serious contender. Because at this point, even for me, I'm not even an Eagles fan, and trying to watch the Eagles is getting very frustrating. So other than that, number 2, key 2, stopping the pass. The one thing that the Dallas Cowboys have been able to hang their head on is George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott. That trio has been fantastic. It's been really fun to watch, and quite frankly, that is the one thing that could really bust this thing open for the Cowboys if they can get a win here. So stopping the pass is going to be paramount. I trust the defensive line of Philly to slow down Javonte Williams. I can buy into that. But also, they're going to need to get pressure on Dak Prescott, and maybe that'll lead to him slowing down his passes to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So stopping the pass is going to be very important because that is the one true absolute strength of this football team. So stopping that will probably make this team fall apart. And then key 3, no turnovers. This will be the same key for both teams here. Eagles have been good at not turning the ball over, and the Cowboys have struggled to turn the ball over. The last thing you want to do is to give this defense any amount of momentum, and along with that, you don't want to give any momentum to the Cowboys offense and get them kick-started. If you hear my dog barking, I'm very sorry. He's going outside. My mom and my dog are going outside to go look at the space launch that's happening here in just a moment. So he's getting excited. He likes going outside. I'm sorry. But, so no turnovers. You don't want to give the Cowboys defense any amount of life, and you don't want to give more life to the Cowboys offense. So that's very important for Philly. Then, for the Cowboys, kind of a converse, it's kind of an opposite thing for the Cowboys compared to the Eagles, because key one for them is the defense better be better. The Eagles offense has struggled, and so the Cowboys defense should have more success, because listen, the Cowboys defense needs to finally help their offense for once. It needs to happen once, and against an offense that has not been great, here's a great opportunity to do that. If you're gonna win this game, or if any team's going to win this game, either the Eagles offense is going to be better or the Cowboys defense is going to be better. Either or is going to have to happen, and whichever one does is the team that's going to win straight up, at least to me. So it's very important. And then key two, slow down the Eagles defense. Now, how do you do that? How do you slow down a defense? Well, first of all, you got to slow down the defensive line. How do you do that? First of all, if you can run the ball well, run play action well, that would be a really good help. Running some screens, anything that can slow down the aggression of the Eagles defensive line will help create more opportunities downfield in the passing game to help utilize the Cowboys strengths, which is the passing game and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. So there is that. But also, if you can get what's it called? The secondary. If you can get the secondary to also creep up on a play action or on a deceive them with the screen, like, it's not just getting the defensive line to slow down their pass rush and their aggressiveness, but if you can get these DBs to step up a little bit, maybe do a little bit more press, maybe be a little bit more physical at the line of scrimmage, maybe with a good release package, CeeDee Lamb, boom, can get open, beat a DB, and he's open, just like that. So, I mean, slowing down the Eagles defense just mostly means slowing down their aggression and then making them want the secondary want to be a little bit more aggressive to compensate for that. So that's where I'm thinking. That's where I'm looking right now. If you can do that, that'll help you pass the ball a lot better. And then key three, no turnovers. One thing here, again, do not turn the ball over and not kickstart the Eagles offense. The one thing, it's similar for both teams. You don't want the bad part of their football team to have life, to have momentum, and get them going. Because whichever side steps up will be the team that wins the game. And ultimately, who do I have winning? I am going with the upset. I'm going with the Cowboys to win this game. I mentioned it in the beginning, a sweep is very unlikely, especially on Philly's end. Yes, Philly swept the Cowboys last year, but the last time they swept Dallas before that was in 2011. So take that for what you will. And out of the last 10 years in the series, there's only been 3 sweeps. So a sweep on both sides is highly unlikely. So I don't know. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are going to get their get back here. I mean, they always do. If you go back and look at their history, one game might be a blowout, and then the next game is going to be a blowout on the other side. I mean, it happens all the time between these two teams. History shows that, and I think I'm going to lean with history a little bit. Although I will say, if there's any time for Philly to get a sweep, it is right now. They are the better football team. I believe that. But I just think the Dallas Cowboys are going to find a way to come out with this upset at home in a tough environment. They played Philly really well last time in week 1. So I think they have a reason and have a real chance to pull off an upset here, and that's what I'm going to roll with. Moving to number 3, we have Sunday Night Football, Bucs versus the Rams. The Bucs and the Rams probably are the two teams that have been in the top 5 games of the week the most this season, but for good reason, because every time these two teams play, whether it's whoever it's against, it's a fun game. And so between these two teams, I think this is going to be a really fun matchup. And had it been for a couple more games with higher narrative points for me, this would have been number 1. But also, these two teams probably have been number 2 and number 1 the most of any team in the top 5 games of the week on this show. But for the Bucs, how are you going to get a win on the road against the red-hot Rams coming off a big win against the Seahawks? Number 1, don't bottleneck yourself with Chris Godwin and or Bucky Irving. Chris Godwin, he's going to be back in this game, I think. It looks positive. He's been practicing. But Bucky Irving, he's been practicing as well. His odds of coming back are less likely. So it's going to be more about Godwin. But I'll also throw Bucky Irving in that sense where The thing is, the Bucs offense has had success without them, not as much, but since they're coming back from injuries, they haven't played in a while, you don't want to put too much on their plate right away. You want to ease them back into the game. And the thing is, you have the talent to be able to circumvent that and maybe use them as a decoy, maybe more than an actual serious contributor on offense. Because the last thing you do not want to use them way too much in this game and then have them go out with another injury. You don't want that. Don't bottleneck yourself. Don't force yourself into doing that. Like, if one of them pops off and they play great, that's fantastic. But I don't want the Bucs to feel like they're going to have to utilize Chris Godwin or have to utilize Bucky Irving if he plays in order to win this game. You don't have to just give them a bunch of touches to win. I think the Bucs have enough quality weapons on offense to circumvent that and let Chris Godwin and Bucky Irving just play a smaller role in the game, but still find a way to make an impact. Key 2. Limit the big plays on the Rams offense. That's one thing the Rams have been really great at, and also the Bucs defense has allowed a lot of big plays to go over their heads. If you can limit that and make the Rams offense really fight for every yard and make them sustain drives, that'll give your defense more opportunities to do what? Actually get off the field and actually stop the Rams offense. If you can make them earn every yard, chances are you're probably going to get off the field more often than not. So that's going to be a big key to being able to limit the big plays and also make sure that they don't get into the red zone very often. That's one thing the Rams have been very good at, as of late, I should say. Key 3, you're going to have to play some boring ball, especially on offense. I think the Rams defense is really good. I don't think the Bucs have the firepower as well. Even though their pieces are good, I don't think they have the firepower to absolutely light this defense up and light it on fire. I don't think they have the talent to do that. So I think you're just going to have to play boring ball. You're just going to have to take what the defense gives you, just do the boring stuff, run the ball for a couple of yards, maybe dump off a screen here and there, like check downs. You just got to do the little things right. If you can do the little things right, that will hopefully open things up for big plays later in the game. So if you can just play boring ball and do the little things right and consistently, that should help you actually be able to make big plays on the Rams defense. So that's where I'm at with Tampa. For the Rams, key one for them, I want to see them utilize their tight ends more. Last week, I really liked how they did that against Seattle. And for the Bucs in particular, they're not good at stopping tight ends. So there's a mismatch here that I think the Rams could really take advantage of. And considering what they were able to do last week, talking about dumping it down in the red zone, in the flat, using tight end screens, that worked very well for them last week. And so I expect for them to use it this week and for it to work as well. So that's key number 1. Key 2, slow down the passing game. This is the Bucs' strength on offense and the Rams', weakness on defense. But one thing the Rams get a lot of last week, turnovers. If you can get turnovers, that will help balance things out into a good, solid defensive performance. And one thing that I saw last week against the Bills when Tampa played, sure, Tampa Bay won the turnover battle, but it was the one turnover by Baker Mayfield that made all the difference, that allowed Josh Allen the momentum to go insane like he did. So even if you can slow down the passing game, or even if you don't slow down, no, wait, excuse me. Brain is blanking, sorry. So yeah, even if you're getting thrown all over and the Bucs are playing well in the pass, or throwing the ball well, I mean, if you can get a couple takeaways, that really could make the difference and swing things in your favor like it did last week. So that's going to be a big key, is trying to slow down the Bucs passing attack, but it's not going to be a be-all, end-all for me. And then key 3, win in the red zone. The Rams are great and have a great scoring defense as well. The Bucs have been inconsistent on offense, and this is a matchup straight up that the Rams defense needs to dominate. Even if the Bucs move the ball down the field, as long as you force them to field goals and don't let them get touchdowns, that's going to help your offense do very well, where they match up very well against the Bucs defense. So that's going to help you. Who do I have winning? Right now, give me the Rams to win. Right, even though the Bucs are going to play this game close, they're going to be competitive. Just like I said with the Bills, or not, I guess not like I said with the Bills, because that came back and bit me. But it sure did. I will say the Bucs are going to be competitive. They're going to keep it close, but I think the Rams just have too much more good. Too much more good. Yes, that is a sentence. but I think they're just going to do what the Bills did last weekend. It's going to be close, but in the end, they're just going to pull away and win by a couple of scores right at the end, and it's just going to go out of reach for Tampa. That's where I have the Rams going. That's how I have them winning, and winning is what they're going to do for me. Number 2, Colts Chiefs. Colts coming off their bye week. Chiefs for the at 500, I think, for like the second or third time in Patrick Mahomes' career. This is a very unusual spot for the Chiefs to be in, but they're at home against a team coming off their bye week, and they match up very well against the Colts here. And so for the Colts, though, what are they going to need to do to beat Kansas City? Number 1, they need to prepare to adapt on offense, because the Chiefs' run defense is good, and what happened in their 2 losses? In the Colts' 2 losses, if you slow down Jonathan Taylor, straight up, you win. That's how it is for the Colts right now. And this is part of the reason why I'm not fully sold on the Colts right now. Because not only have they really not faced anybody good yet, outside of a couple teams, in which, yeah, most of the time, if they faced a good team, they lose. But also, in those losses, Jonathan Taylor's been slowed down, and the entire offense falls apart. What I see right now in the Colts is what I've seen in Tennessee during the peak Derrick Henry era. They run the ball well, their offense is physical, it's fun to watch when everything's working. But if you stop Derrick Henry, you won the game. That's literally how it happened. And for the Colts, similarly, that's how it's happened for them as well. I see a very similar parallel here. Now, if the Colts can win, okay, I will buy into them a little bit. I will give them their flowers and say, okay, they have a chance. They have a real chance to probably make a run here. But right now, I'm still not sold. And part of that is because stopping Jonathan Taylor literally has led to losses for them. So I want to see a little bit. So I want to see them at least be able to adapt on offense and be able to lean on Daniel Jones a little bit more in the instance that happens. Key 2, win on third down. One spot where the Chiefs defense has not been very good is on third down. And if you can win on third down and sustain drives, that gives you more opportunities to establish the run and do what you do best. And key 3, pressure Patrick Mahomes. Look at what Denver did last week. Denver maintained their gap integrity. They were relentless in their pressure, and they did not keep their eyes off Mahomes. If you can just stay disciplined and stay aggressive, you can get pressure and maybe force a mistake or two, and that would put the ball in your offense's hands even more as well. So you're talking about getting more opportunities for your offense, winning third down to sustain longer drives, which also keeps Mahomes, off the field. So really hard formula, really solid formula here for the Colts to win. If they can hit all 3 of these keys, there should be no reason that they lose this game. If they hit all 3, they're definitely winning for sure. And then for Kansas City at home, how are they going to win? How are they going to bounce back against the Colts? Number 1, slow down Jonathan Taylor. Everything I said about Jonathan Taylor and how he affects the Colts offense, repeat it. Just repeat it all right here. It all remains the same. And then number 2, I want to see them feed Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice. The Colts pass defense has had struggles this year. And so I want to see Worthy and Rice utilize their speed a little bit, utilize them in space. If they can get in space and get some good run after catch ability, I think that'll be really huge for this for the Patrick Mahomes, for the Chiefs offense. And it's just a matchup nightmare. Not a matchup nightmare. It's a matchup advantage for the Chiefs. They should take advantage of it. I think they have the speed to be able to do it. If Andy Reid can dial up the right play and attack this defense, then guess what? It's going to put this offense on its heels, and that'll also help slowing down Jonathan Taylor if you can get up and force the Colts to have to throw the ball more to keep in the game. And then key 3, get some takeaways. Get some takeaways. Because if you can slow down Jonathan Taylor and force the Colts to throw the ball more, one thing that is definitely factually true in the Colts losses, when you stop Jonathan Taylor, the turnover numbers for Daniel Jones go up a lot. So if you can stop Jonathan Taylor, what is that going to do? That is going to force you to throw the ball more and in turn create more turnovers. If you can take away the ball, that keeps them off the field and gives you more opportunities to feed Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice and help exploit the Colts pass defense. So ultimately, who do I have winning? Give me Kansas City. I know it sounds crazy, but like I said, I'm still not sold on the Colts just yet. But if they can win, if they get a win in Arrowhead, okay, we'll have a conversation. Okay, the Colts just might be a real contender this year. So we're going to have to see what happens. I still think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be close. but a lot is riding on this game for me narratively, so can't wait to see what happens. Now, we move to number 1, where Aaron Rodgers possibly could be facing the Chicago Bears. I own you. I still own you. I still own you. One of the best quotes I've ever seen from Aaron Rodgers. That was so funny when that happened. But there's a problem. Aaron Rodgers has a wrist injury and probably could not play. So I will tell you this right now. If Aaron Rodgers plays in this game, the Steelers are going to win. And if he doesn't play, I think the Bears are going to win. I think it's that close. If I had to pick one, if I had to okay, regardless of the scenario, if I had to pick one, I would pick the Bears. Right now, I'm liking them right now. They are red hot. But there is a big key here, is that the Bears have not beaten anyone with a winning record yet. I wasn't sure about that, and then I went back and checked it, and that's true. They have not beaten a team with a winning record yet. So this is a big test for the Bears, and I think even if Aaron Rodgers does play, if I had to pick one, maybe the Bears can pull it off. But also, I'm leaning way more towards the Steelers winning if Aaron Rodgers plays. So that's going to be a big key. If I had to just pick one and just stick with it, give me Chicago. I know this is a very weird conversation that we're having right now because I sounded a little wishy-washy, and that's because, it's that close. I think Aaron Rodgers makes this big of a difference to me just because, he's played the Bears throughout his history, obviously being with the Packers, and he also owns the Bears. So, be interesting to see how that unfolds. But if the Steelers are going to win on the road, well, how are they going to have to do it? Key one, you got to win on third down. The Bears are great on third down, and the Steelers aren't. That is a mismatch that the Bears could take advantage of on defense. But if you can win on third down, what is that going to do? You're going to stay on the field, and that leads to key 2, sustaining drives. Being able to run your offense and keep them on the field longer, keep the Bears offense off the field, and allow you to potentially break down this Bears defense, which has been their weaker side of their football team. So those two keys will go hand in hand together. And then key 3, contain Caleb Williams. Make him beat you with his arm and not with his legs. The Vikings did a great job with that last week, and Caleb Williams had his struggles. In the first 3 quarters of the game, it wasn't all pretty. And whenever he got out, even when he got out of the pocket, the Vikings closed in on him very, very quickly and came away with a couple of sacks as well. So if you can contain Caleb Williams, don't let him roll out of the pocket and beat you with his legs, you might have a real chance here. And also, considering the Steelers defense has been very poor, the last thing they need is a quarterback that can run around and make things even harder. So if you can do that and contain him in the pocket, that'll help this defense corral the entire offense and keep things from getting absolutely out of control. Now we get for the Bears. How are they going to win? First one, they got to win up front, keeping Aaron Rodgers off the field and allowing an offense that has had problems have no chance to get started and take advantage of the weaker side of your football team. Winning up front also means being able to run the ball well, also means giving more opportunities for Caleb Williams and giving him easier opportunities to throw the ball. If you can win physically up front, that's going to be a big help for them, especially against a team that is a normally very physical, very tough team to play against. So winning in the trenches up front is going to be big key. Obviously, if you win up front in the trenches, you're more than likely to win. But for the Bears, it's even more important for them in this specific game. And then key 2, they also need to attack this defense. Conversely, yeah, you got to win up front, but also, come on, this Steelers defense is not very good. Let's be honest here for a minute. It's been terrible. It's been terrible. Caleb Williams should be able to have a lot of success throwing against this defense. He should. Rome Odunze should feast. DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet, and Colson Loveland should be consistent chain movers like they've been all year long. What the Bears have been able to do on offense should not be hampered because they're going up against Pittsburgh in theory. In theory. Because one thing is for certain, Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. And in terms of that rivalry alone and that feeling, definitely the Steelers are going to be a little bit more fired up to play in this game because of that. Even though Aaron Rodgers said he's not really feeling anything rivalry-wise toward this game, he's kind of okay, let bygones be bygones. We're good. At this point, it's whatever. But that doesn't change the fact that this team is probably going to fight a little bit harder for Aaron if he plays in this game. So being able to attack this defense is really going to put a lot of pressure on the Steelers to be able to fulfill that promise. Key 3, though, force takeaways. The passing game is a disadvantage. but a takeaway could be absolutely massive. The Bears defense and their secondary in particular is kind of like the inverse of a glass cannon. Like, if you're very strong, but you can't take a lot of hits, it's like the Bears take a ton of punches, but they also land a bunch of punches on their own. So it's kind of like, I don't know, the best way I can describe it is like, I play Madden a lot. I play a lot of Madden 11, and usually when I play through a franchise, yeah, my defense allows a lot of yards, but I generate a whole bunch of takeaways. That's a similar thing here where, sure, you're going to get thrown on a lot probably, but, I mean, they're also great at forcing takeaways. So, I mean, it's a lesser of, I don't know, it kind of balances each other out. It's different than, it's like the opposite of a defense that is locked down but doesn't force a lot of turnovers, if that makes sense. It's a tale of two extremes. Both are good and bad in their own reasons, but forcing takeaways will also help give the ball back to your offense, which, in theory, should feast on the Steelers defense, So who do I have winning? I've already made that clear. If I have to pick one, give me Chicago. I'm riding with the hot hand right now. And that being said, though, if Aaron Rodgers does play, the Steelers are going to win this game. But my official prediction for the record is going to be Chicago, and we're going to leave it at that. So with that being said, that is my top 5 games of the week. So now, what is the rest of Week 12 looking like? Well, let's predict it right now as we throw the graphic up on the screen. Number 1, Bills-Texans. I already said the Bills are going to win this game. Currently going on right now. The game's probably almost over at this point as I'm recording. Seahawks-Titans. Give me the Seahawks. I have no reason to pick the Titans until they prove me otherwise, which probably will be never. But they are probably going to play Xavier Restrepo this week, so thank God. I don't know why they've taken so long to play him. At this point, they have nothing to lose, so why not play him at this point? It's just stupid that this offensive staff is so incompetent, man. JSN's probably going to drop 200 on him. So, I'm not someone to recommend fantasy advice, but JSN, you better bet on this man. He's going to go nuts. I'm telling you right now, he's going to go nuts. So, there's that. Jets-Ravens. Give me the Ravens to win. The Ravens have had a couple easy matchups, somewhat, against bad football teams as they've tried to make a late-season surge. With the Jets coming off of an interesting win, though, I expect this to be a little bit interesting. But I think the Ravens are going to pull away. I think they win by 2 scores here. This should be one that the Ravens should handle their business. And then Giants-Lions. This is an upset watch. Whenever Jameis Winston is starting a game, it is upset watch for me. Because the Giants defense can make plays. If they can slow down the Lions offense somehow, some way, and Jameis Winston makes a couple really nice throws, all of a sudden the Giants are close in this game, and they have a chance. I mean, look at what they did in Denver last year. Remember that? I mean, that was a very tight game because Jameis Winston was so good. I mean, yeah, he threw the pick at the end to seal the deal and give the Broncos the win. But, I mean, whenever Jameis Winston plays, I mean, you never know what you're going to get. So, every time he plays, it's kind of an upset watch for me at this point. That's just kind of how polarizing he is as a player right now. So, that's where I'm at. But I had the Lions winning this game there. So, they're a football team, and I think they bounced back after suffering an awful loss to the Eagles. Patriots-Bengals. Give me the Patriots. They have no reason to lose this game. I mean, come on. Jamar Chase is also out. There's no reason the Patriots should lose this game. I have them winning outright, no doubt. Jags-Cardinals. Give me the Jaguars after a big blowout against the Chargers. Very convincing, very good. And against a lesser Cardinals team, they should take advantage. They should win this game, although the Cardinals are going to keep this closer than I think a lot of people are thinking. And then Falcons-Saints. This one's going to be close. Divisional rivalry. Michael Penix is out for the year. And with that reasoning, give me the Saints to win. They're at home. I think they get somewhat of an upset here. And I said the Falcons' season's already over at this point. And, well, I mean, if the Saints win here, I mean, it will be over. Straight up at that point. No more debate at all. So there's where I'm at. And then Monday Night Football, Panthers at 49ers. I have the 49ers winning. This is a big test for Carolina, though. I will say, if they can run the ball well and pass the ball well, if those two sides of the coin can marry for the first time this year, it would be massive. It would be huge, and it would give him a real chance. And if the defense can slow down Christian McCaffrey in the pass game and limit the big plays, they have a chance. I think it's going to be close at some point, but I think the 49ers pull away late and prove why they're the better football team, and that's why I have them winning. So that being said, that is going to do it for my Week 12 predictions. What do you guys think? Is your team going to win? Are they going to lose? What are you feeling about your team going into Week 12? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Next thing, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe button as you help spread the word out to the YouTube algorithm. Get more people flooding into the SHOUTOUT. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would do that. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers before the end of the 2025 season. So if you guys can really get a late season surge going, that'd be fantastic. And also, listen here, guys. It's free. It takes a couple seconds and it's free. Come on. If it's free, it's for me. You know what I'm saying? Just takes a moment. It would help me out a lot. So please do. And then lastly, follow me on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff, as I'm trying to post more content on there as we continue to build our community as I hit my microphone. But that is going to do it for me today, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Love ya. Appreciate ya. And as always, I will see you all next time.